We'll continue the introduction of R program-based component in this video. In the first week video, I talk about the comment meaning. So comment is expressed by the shop. So we can use the comment character on top of our code or per each line with this keyboard shortcut Ctrl-Shift-C. Comments are used to describe the program on top of the code and have nothing to do with learning the program. That means programmers or persons can show the easy explanation about the code and the per line explanation. So it makes the habit to write comment when writing the program is very important. So every R program must consist of one or more comment. For example, when you look at right side figure, there is the project name and author and detail, input, output of the code, and the usage for the code and history and so on. So per lines, each line has the special character shop, right? So we can only see the comment line. I mean, the RStudio interpreter cannot see this line. So we don't need to follow the R grammar. So we can write in English only freely, right? So that is the R program-based component. So this is the simplest R program template. As I talked to you, per each exercise, you should put your information on top of each code. Okay, we will do exercise 1 for creating my business card. So write a program that printing the following: your English name, your department, and your ID number, and so on. So you make your project. All right. Project. In case of us, we will start the working date. So like that, and your ID number, your English name, and your ID card, like that. And you also make your own file under this project, so you should follow the script file name too, but the extension is .R. Be careful about that. So that is the script file name. All right. Okay, so you should make the project with this name, and under this project you should also make your own R script file. Okay, and then you can follow the generation or creating of your project like this. Okay, and you can make a new file with click this menu, or from this time I recommend you use the keyboard shortcut like Ctrl-Shift-N. All right, so Ctrl-Shift can be pressed with your left finger, and then you can use your right finger. You can use your right finger for pressing the alphabet N. So N is new. Okay, so you can make a new file. So that is the implicit meaning of the N. All right, and then as I talk to you, the file extension of R is uppercase R, not lowercase r, alright? So be careful about that. And you can write down your English name, your department, your ID number. So, and then after typing your code in a script file, and then if you press the Ctrl Shift S, so you memorize the keyboard shortcut for execution and learning of your codes immediately. All right. So, and then you can check the result in the bottom left of console. Okay. So, your name and your department, your ID number. Of course, you can use Ctrl Shift Enter. In this case, as you know, in the console, after each comment of your code, you can check the result for each code, each line, your code, okay? Sometimes it is very efficient for debugging. So debugging means you can trace your code for watching your data for each variable. In this case, there is no variable yet, so you don't need to debug your code, but imagine your code for the length of the over the 100 or 1,000 lines. Okay, so it is also very efficient information about that. Okay, if you want to print out your ID card in without the number 1, so in this case you can use the message function instead of print, and then you can check your result. You can find your information only in the result screen, and then you can also check by Ctrl Shift S, right? Okay, exercise 2. We can decorating your first version of ID code with the covering of the boundary of your ID card for making more pretty screen, right? So in this case, you can also make your project, your script file with the your information, but the file name is number 2. So project is the same, but the file name is different. So project can cover a couple of R script files, all right? So you can capture the first version of your ID card making code, and then you can also capture the second one, and then copy and paste on your Word portfolio file, okay, like that, and then add your explanation, right? So go ahead. We can compare the results between print and message function. So we can check the difference between them in console. So in case of the message, there is no number 1. So number 1 means several meanings, such as standard output or only the single data, different from the cat function on top of the previous video. So print function can print only single data. So the number 1 means the several meaning. Okay, So console is the standard output. So in the standard output, print the result meaning, and the single data meanings is also included. Okay, so we can create a personal business card like that. So you can make boundary with the aesthetical enumerations, and we can put our English name and department, your ID number, your email address like that. Okay, so we will do it together. But for making perfect your own card, you can have enough time for programming and testing for your own personal business card. All right, so we can do it together. Right. So please press Ctrl+Shift+N. In this case, a new script file of Untitled2 was generated. All right, and then you can put your working date and your English name and the subject of this code. So creating our own business card. All right, so as I talk to you, when we start code with this special character, that is comment. So we can only check the information. On the other hand, computer or RStudio interpreter cannot see this line. So we don't need to follow the R grammar. Okay, and we can use message function, and we can put the several aesthetical for boundary of top side. And in case of me, I block this similar to the Word file, and then copy with the Ctrl+C, and then paste with Ctrl+V. And I put my